Alrighty, what is up, everybody? We are live again, live on all platforms except for TikTok this time. Really missing those 2,000 people online, but well, it'll be what it will be. But welcome back to another episode of Morning Market News. Definitely glad to have you folks in here. Kind of this got probably gonna be half as long as our normal live streams, but we're here again. A lot of craziness going on in the market, a lot of news around Ethereum and everything else. So definitely quite a bit to talk about. As you can see here, I'm in my office with my moving company. We are running out of space for supplies, and boxes are starting to stack up in here with empty packing paper supplies. So here we are. We do it live. Like I said, I run a moving business, and it is ridiculously busy at times. So, but without that said, let's get into some of the basics before we get on here. You got Cody in here as well. And shout out to Crypto Dream. I'm sure he'll probably pop on in a little bit when he gets closer towards his break. But we got some good news with the markets. We're up almost 2.5%. Volume at 59 billion. Bitcoin dominance at 52.2%. Ethereum at 16.6%. We got the Greed and Fear Index cooling off, getting back down to the low 70s at 72. And we got Bitcoin kind of climbing back up, slowly up 3.25%, almost 3.5% on the day. We got Ethereum up 2%. We have XRP almost up 2%. Solana up 4.5%. We also have we got Polkadot still holding strong, but up 3% on the day at 679. Litecoin still holding 71. Cosmos, Atom still holding the $10 range. And of course, we have good old Quant holding 108, up about 2%, but down about 2.25. So
Quant's been, even though we had like a drop to 85, the low for the year for Quant is $85 and the high for the year is 160. We've been holding a good range even though we hit that $85 low. I mean, every time we hit that $85 low, we'd bounce right back up. Like it's always been inevitable that way. And to me, that type of price action tells me that people are paying attention.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And it seems like the buy volume always stays strong on Quant. The activity always stays strong. There's always something new coming out that Quant is adding to the network or developers are adding. So it's definitely something that I'm always going to have in my wallet. And like I said on every live stream, like this is a position I plan on having probably for at least a decade. Like I'll maybe take I'll take profits during this bull run, but it'll always be in my wallet.
Oh yeah. And yesterday I was watching the buy volume for Quant. I was on the Quant token Ether scan to where you can see all the transactions on all the exchanges. And I saw one buy order for 400 Quant. I saw another buy order for about 250, and then I saw another Quant buy order for 800 Quant, which is like $100,000. Just one person bought that. And then I just kept seeing these hundreds, up in the 100 buy orders. I'm like, these buy orders are going crazy. I checked these wallets and they're just like people who've been holding for a year, people who've been holding for 6 months. And it's like, it just kind of told me that people who have money and people in general are paying attention to Quant. I hopped in a Call of Duty lobby this morning. My name on Call of Duty is Quant Network. People are like, oh, I have Quant.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that seem to be stacking Quant, and I can tell right now it's a lot of retail buyers buying in as Quant is starting to head down down a little bit on that price. If we pull up the 30-minute chart here, as you see here, people are starting to sell off a little bit again. But you can see here retail orders are buying because it's like 1, 2, 5, half a Quant, 2 Quant, 12 Quant. I don't think I've seen one over $1,600 worth of Quant. Oh no, there's 19, couple 19s, 23. But it seems like retail investors are starting to buy now, which makes sense because right now is the time where people have a little bit extra money. I think December most people get paid twice. Yeah, they get paid not twice, three times this December.
Yeah.
So people feel like they have a little extra money to put into crypto, and that's what retail investors are doing right now. And it seems like they're balancing out the market, adding another $200 billion in value to the market. Is how I'm looking at it. And you could tell because like Solana's up, Ethereum and Bitcoin are up pretty big. And if you look at the coins that retail investors are kind of most popular in or know the most, that's what they're in. I'm trying to see if I could find Pepe coin on here. I don't think it's
And
on
you know
here.
what's crazy? Quant has the tokenomics to hit Bitcoin's price. And I'm with you, Sal, on keeping at least you should always like say for example, you have 50 to 100 quant, right? In the bull run, you take most of your profits. Leave at least 5 quant because quant could hit Bitcoin levels one day if these institutions actually keep adopting Overledger. Like people don't understand. Quant could easily hit Bitcoin prices. There's only 14 million in circulation. It's already got a low market cap, a billion, and it's in the
Hmm.
$100 range. Like it doesn't take a brain scientist to understand that this thing could hit Bitcoin price level. Quant could hit Bitcoin price levels one day. Always keep at least 5 and under. It doesn't matter how much profit you want to take. Keep about 5 or under.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely, but I'm more of ratios. So Cody's example is very good. Always keep a certain amount in, but I'm gonna keep it at a certain percentage, which is about during the bull run about 8% of my portfolio. So I'm gonna cash out a lot, unless if we hit astronomical numbers during this bull run. I will probably keep about 8% of my quant. And the only way I mean, and when I mean astronomical, means if it miraculously hits 5,000 per quant, I would cash out, and then when it drops, I would buy back in for it. Definitely want to make as much profit as you can in a scenario like that. But I think that's like a Hail Mary scenario. The best I'm hoping for is like somewhere between 900 and 1,500 quant. 2,000 would be really optimistic. But if it shoots up that high, I would bring it back down to 8% of my total crypto portfolio and take the cash out, pay my taxes, put the cash aside to be ready to execute back into other opportunities. Excuse me. But overall, guys, like quant is something that I'm probably not going to be, definitely not going to be selling over the next year. Definitely, I'm going to be accumulating, especially if we stay in this $100 range, or even if we go back into like 90, 85, or even $75 range, which a nice 25, 30% correction could happen as people are speculating. But right now it seems like the economy is like having that one candle flare, because I've been looking at the numbers over and over again over the economy. People are saying we did a soft landing, uh, the recession's over, or we're just getting into recession, and I'll it's looking like we're gonna have a nice strong like burn bright before we really hit the bottom, because we still have a lot of macro factors that can greatly affect all the markets and everything. But either way, it's still a good time to just keep dollar cost averaging into the market and keep making those steady gains. But you sent me a message on TikTok with that guy, a guy holding the stocks. He had two. I think I only saw four stocks, but he had two of his four stocks were two stocks I was holding, which was Microsoft and Apple. And I've been holding them since 2012. Well, Microsoft since
Yeah.
2009. I've been holding Microsoft.
Damn.
I don't. foresee it going anywhere. I don't like his reasoning that he's saying that business is I have to pull a market watch because I want to pull it up. I don't agree with him saying that because all businesses use it. That's not a good reason to keep it because in the long term, it can be replaced by anything. Anything like
Oh
there's
yeah.
always something new that can knock them out. Um, but as far as your um, let me see. So, I mean, I was putting into this when it was like, I want to see, can I get? Oh, I wish you can do a custom on this, but this is about where I was coming in, right around there was when I was getting into Microsoft. Now, granted, that was a good time for me because I actually had, and I always say 9 to 5 save lives, and I was a regional manager for Radio Shack at the time, so I was able to put away like a couple grand every check into it. But these are the prices, like 2009, 2010. Like I've just been buying it steadily over the years, and I haven't. I stopped right around here. Well, really, I kind of took a break here because I opened up my business, so I didn't have any money really to put in, and then it was like right around here I bought a little bit more, but I haven't bought any Microsoft. And with all the gains and everything I have currently, like 1,800 shares of Microsoft, which is insane. And that just goes to show you the power of just buying steadily over time. Just buy it, whatever you can. Like even if you were putting in $100 in every 2 weeks, and you in 2000 from 2008 to 2012, you would have been buying Microsoft at $30 a share. So you would have been accumulating like 4 or 5 shares every month, or maybe 6 shares every month. It's and 10 years it would have paid off. So there you go, Cody. Got you back in here. Hey, Cody.
Oh yeah. No,
There we
it's just when I go on another app, it kills my volume, and then I have
go.
to join back in.
Oh no, I certainly understand. Excuse me. But no, it's like I said. Like I was getting, like I was saying, I was getting into Microsoft like way back around 2009, 2010, and I was just steadily dollar cost averaging all the way up to right about August of, I'd say like right around here, August of 2019. And that was when I started my moving company. So, and that the power of that led to 1,800 shares of just, that was that was a solid decade of holding that damn company, holding Microsoft all the way through, just putting money in, putting money in, putting money in. And now look at where the value is. And the crazy thing is, my price target for Microsoft is probably going is I'm estimating like between 475 and 525. $525 for us because there's so much value that this company does, and they're buying up a lot of complementary businesses to what they're offering. So they're building a nice ecosystem, and cloud sharing is going to be a phenomenal thing that's going to be brought forth in it. I guess Cody kind of stepped out there. And the other one that that guy had was Apple. Let me there we go. Got you back in here, Cody.
Okay, I'm gonna just stop going on other apps.
Like I said, another one here is Apple, and same thing. Like, and right around here they had a stock split. Although Yeah, I think it was like 13, 12. Somewhere around here they had a stock split, but it wasn't. It was like Apple was like 750 at the time, and then they did a 7-1 split, and it came out to like 750. But if you look at that, like from basically from here, I've been dollar cost averaging into Apple. I've been dollar cost
And
averaging into Apple. No, go ahead, Cody. I'm sorry, you were gonna say something there. Hey, Cody, is your mic working? I think Cody's gonna be joining us
it,
back in.
I don't
Okay,
I
there
don't
you
know
go.
why I did that. It was lagging. I was in the middle of a sentence, but that's how I feel about quant. Pretty much, where you were saying where you were DCAing at, that is where a lot of these early assets are right now. A lot of these early assets are in that area, and that's why I just DCA and I do my research, because it's not necessarily FOMO that I'm feeling, but you don't want to look back 5-10 years from now and be like, oh, I was there during that opportunity and I didn't.
Yeah, and you missed out on it. And that's why I said it's always easier to be in the market rather than to try to time the market. There's just no way that you're gonna. It's kind of like these guys are gonna say, "Oh, I've been in my I'm trying to time Microsoft in and out or all these stocks going up and down." But the best thing to do is just pick the solid companies that you want to invest in and just dollar cost average in through the whole process. The same thing is can be applied to crypto. Ooh, excuse me. Is that if you pick your favorite the cryptos that you believe in and that have the strongest value to you, and you dollar cost average through. It's like the same thing with Chainlink. If you're dollar cost averaging with Chainlink over the last 2 years, you'd probably be making a crap ton on the return, even just with the relief rally.
It's the same way I feel about Solana. Like, I was there during the $10 to $20 range. I could have easily bought, but then again, it's not like I wasn't buying anything though. I was buying Quant and Ethereum during that time, so it's not like I'm really taking an L, because I was still buying, just not Solana at that time.
Yeah, and it's not really an L because you only have so much capital and so much things to invest in. Like even with me, I have a 2 million plus portfolio with crypto and another $2+ million in stocks, and you're going to miss opportunities. I mean, there are boundless out there, and you're only one person, you're only one mind, and you can only see so many opportunities. And on top of that, you can only invest in so many opportunities. Now, if I had like $100 million portfolio, I could probably start hitting everything. But when you got such limited funds, and believe me, guys, when I say this, that even with such a large portfolio, it's larger than most people, but still it's very small, and that type of money can disappear very quickly if you're investing in the wrong things. Like if I picked what was his name? That guy, Financial Education, I think it was.
Pretty sure.
If you picked all of his stocks from 2020 to now, you'd be down 86%.
It's crazy.
So that means my $2 million portfolio would be worth about $300,000.
Look at Ark
So
Invest. So Elizabeth Warren's thing, or what, Kathy Wood's investing firm, went from an all-time high of 50 billion to 5 billion.
that's the biggest loss I have seen in a while. Like I've
Ark
seen a
Invest.
billionaire go from 15 billion to negative 3 billion, but I've never seen 45 billion lost in 2 years. Like that's insane.
Yeah.
As a fund as a money manager, you lost $45 billion. Like I have a feeling she's going to get audited by the SEC, and it's going to and her fund is going to be realized that they're gonna find out she took no levels of risk, no levels of risk. And I hate to say it, but it's really weird because it's like when it's not really hate to say it, but it's like for you guys listening, like most women are very safe and take extra amount of risk adverse precautions to protect their investments. That's usually how it's just mind boggling that you lost $45 billion and you're telling me there can't possibly have been stop losses, mitigations, like were you watching the stuff just go down and just saying, "Yep, we'll just hold till it's nothing"? It's like, or would you at least say, "Hey, if it drops 10%, I'm getting out"? Like with crypto, if I have like a 25% drop in an hour, I'm exiting out of the crypto like in an instant. I'll get back into it when I see this price is stabilized, but I'm gonna cut my losses. Like,
Yeah,
but I don't know. It's just really, really weird.
I'm looking at it right now, and it says they currently have 6.7 billion in under management, and they said at the height of 2021 they had 50 billion in under management. So I know they didn't take profit. I mean, unless they did, but I have a feeling they didn't.
I don't think they did. They took profit because if they took profit, even if they lost, they might have went from like 50 to like 40 or 35 billion. But to go all the way down in 2 years to five to a little over 5 billion, and it sounds like some of it came back from the relief rally. It's like, what the hell were you investing in?
That's what
Because
I'm
even
saying.
if you were buying Bitcoin, you still would not have lost that much. So you didn't put any money into Bitcoin. You didn't put any
Exactly.
money into Microsoft, Apple, or blue chip stocks. You did so. What did you put your money into?
Pump
And
penny stocks, like
I know they had. I know that ARK had a huge investment in Coinbase, but they sold that. And I think it was probably to cover redemptions. And I'd be pissed. I'd be trying to make a redemption claim too against her, against the get my money out as quickly as possible because that is just insane that you lost that much value. It's like I would have no faith in you managing my money, even if I was giving you $1,000, I would not have faith because I know that $1,000 would be gone. It's like you underperformed worse than the scammers did, like worse than all the finance guru scammers. You performed worse than them as a legitimate hedge fund.
it's crazy. I know.
Like I can't I can't fathom that one. I just can't. Like that is just ridiculous. Like even a 15% loss would have gotten me fired when I was working for private equity. It would have gotten me let go at so my contract would have been pulled. So it's like that's just crazy. But
I
and
don't
it's
know
just
why
really
they have
weird.
that listed there though. It's like they have it listed as, oh, at the height of 2021, ARK Invest had 50 billion under management. Like that's not a flex, knowing that you have 6.7 billion now. Like why would that even be listed on Google? I mean, I understand they got to share information, but it's like it's crazy.
Oh, it certainly is. It certainly is. But that's just how some people will roll
It
with
does.
that.
I'm not gonna lie, it does feel a little bit quiet without that TikTok crowd.
Yeah, like 2,000 of them because like they're constantly looking up stocks and everything. I do miss them. I do miss them. I hope they find a new channel. I do actually have to change the logo so it's mine so people can see it. So if you guys manage to stumble across this, the new TikTok is simply investing 60.
You're just
And
gonna have to rebuild back to up where you were, and you can do
yep.
it.
So and with everyone setting goals, my goal because like Cody has a goal of hitting 20 million by 40, which would be what 17 years from now.
Yeah, 17 years
So
from now.
I'm gonna say something pretty audacious. And we're gonna keep this stream will never get taken down unless YouTube has it. But hey, guess what? There's a backup on Rumble too. If you guys want to watch it there and hold me accountable, but I'm going to aim for 1 billion by the time I'm 60. I want to see if I
So
can do it.
by the time I hit a $20 million net worth, you're going to be a billionaire. That's crazy. That's awesome. That's going to be crazy. It's going to be
Yes,
insane.
that's because right now my moving company, we actually I just signed on a big like $2.6 billion client that's given us deliveries for the final mile for Oklahoma, Kansas, Missouri, Iowa, Nebraska, Arkansas, and Mississippi. For there, we're doing final miles for there, and that's going to allow me to open up a warehouse out in Memphis, a big one out in Memphis, and that that alone is like a $20 million contract. So, like my logistics company just signed that one. So I'm estimating about 20 million is what I can earn off of it with all their stores that we'll be delivering for and their e-commerce division. Another company that sells high-end furniture, that one's going to be about another $5 million in yearly revenue. So it's like with Yellow going bankrupt and XPO kind of dropping the bag, it's allowing me to kind of sneak in and take these Midwest states, and I'm going to be making some bank. I already tell you right now. Next year the bonuses for everybody are going to be astronomical. Probably going to be the best year we've had ever in the 4 years that the logistics side has been open, and the moving company. We finally were able to break past 10 million and only have a negative. Let me see here. I think I gotta divide this up because we did about 13 million, so about 24% down. So we hit my expectations on it, but I just had my moving company assessed, and they assessed it that its value is right now about 15.5 million, and the logistics company is valued at close to 18 is what they're valuing it at, so that I can pay my taxes off of it. So it's crazy how that all got created. But what a lot of people don't see is, and also want to say before I get on my rant here, shout out to Crypto Dream, welcome in. Hopefully, Crypto Dream. I followed you on my new TikTok, Simply Investing 60. So if you could follow that, and hopefully you can share the word with other people that I got a new channel because my TikTok has been banned. So help me get back over 1,000 so I can start putting you guys back on live. Really, really appreciate that. But also go shout out his channel. I think he's climbing. He's getting there. I think he's close to like 450 subscribers. So let's help him get up to 500 because he does have he has a good mindset that people need to see from his point of view, because you a lot of people want to see someone like mine, like a licensed professional and a businessman's point of view, but also you got to learn from people like Crypto Dream because he's from the retail investor side, and his mindset is how he has more relatable data on you, because you shouldn't invest the way I do, because I can lose quite a bit of money and be okay. I'll shrug my shoulders. I'll be pissed. I'll be probably hitting that punching bag pretty hard, but I'll survive. You guys don't make large trades like I am. Make sure you diversify enough and follow some people that are in your bracket there too, so that way you guys can have some more level headed. But pay attention to what myself, like I pay attention to people who are in the billions because I try to plan to get there, and I try to see how they're thinking about the world and economics, and I see why they're making their trades and their investments, so that way when I get there I have a better understanding. But yeah, if you guys could get that TikTok up again, we'll be back on and really appreciate it. But like I said before Crypto Dream came on, like my goal is hitting 1 billion in net worth by the time I'm 60. And I'll probably retire at that point and, let someone take over the businesses and everything. But that's 20 years from now. That's 20 years. So in 2044, we're gonna see where I'm at. It's gonna be amazing to see where I'm at in 20 years because I have a feeling we're gonna keep pushing through. But like I said, my moving company is valued pretty well. My logistics company is valued pretty well. Furniture store is only valued at like 3 million. So after a $6 million investment in buying the whole business from the guy, and then putting in another $1 million of capital to pay off leases, close down unprofitable stores, move inventory around and everything. I'm down pretty much on that, but it's valued at like 2.9 million after 8 stores. But they don't own the storefronts; they're leasing them. So it's not like my logistics company where they own the main warehouses, and the fleet that they have, which is crazy because I think my next biggest competitor in the area is almost triple my volume. So I'm pretty sure he's about triple my revenue. But it's crazy how like 3 years. If you were talking to me 3 years ago, in beginning of 2021, as we're coming into January, I would have never thought I'd be where I'm at right now. And all the steps I took, and I suffered. I was close to bankruptcy like 18 times. Cody knows it. Cody was there. I think he was there for like the last one that kind of hit where it was we were trying to struggle to push through, but we faced bankruptcy like 18 times.
Same thing happened with Kanye West. There was one
Mhm.
point he was asking Mark Zuckerberg for money. He himself is now a billionaire.
Yep, you climb back up, and it's like it's a very like up and down wave to growing, but it's like it feels like you're hitting bottom constantly, but you're really climbing as you go through. But as far as recommending running a business, no, this ain't for everybody. I have to say honestly, this isn't for me either. Like it's not something I kind of want to I'm grandstanding against. Like if you can make if someone's offering you like $100,000 a year to work a 9 to 5, take that, then start your own business because there's no, there is no wake up. There's no wake up when I want to with the business. Like today, I was up at 4 o'clock in the morning, getting stuff done and getting out there, and I just don't know where. It's like I see a lot of like 17, 18, 19 year olds, 20-year olds coming out saying, "Hey, I'm trying to escape the matrix, trying to escape the 9 to 5." It's like, dude, the matrix is keeping you in that form, in that mindset that you think you have to escape. What you should do is go get a management job at especially a Fortune 500 company if you can, uh, and learn as much as you possibly can. Experiment with house money, play, take bigger risks with house money, learn from those mistakes, and then when you start your own business, which should be around between 30 and 35, that's a really good time to start a business because you have learned a lot of life lessons and career lessons along the way. Like when I started this business when I was 35, the moving company was the first one I started at 35, and it's phenomenal as to where the growth is 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 going. But I would never have gotten there if I didn't work in corporate America to be able to understand how decisions can affect the P&L sheet. But I've met a lot of people that think, "Oh, I'm going to start my own business, wake up at 10 o'clock." No, that's not how it works. You're gonna wake up at 4 o'clock and you're gonna go to bed at midnight, and you're gonna be looking up at the ceiling contemplating all the things you did wrong about your business, probably till about 2 o'clock in the morning. Finally, fall asleep, wake up at like 4, and start your day at like 4:30. And you're probably gonna be skipping a lot of breakfasts too, and drinking a lot of coffee or tea or energy
You know
drinks,
what?
whatever.
I agree because a lot of people on TikTok, it's usually the 17 to 20, I'd say 17 to 25-year olds really. Even people, because I'm 23, I see it a lot. A lot of people say, "Bro, I'm trying to." They think the 9 to 5 is the Matrix, and that's so wrong. Like, it's a lot of it does come from Andrew Tate. Now, do I disagree? Do I hate Andrew Tate? No, I think every influencer, everybody has a purpose. There's a background. Somebody like, for example, Andrew Tate is a reflection of the way society is. Do I hate Andrew Tate? No, but when he talks about, he made a recent video. When he talks about, if your plan takes if getting rich takes longer than 3 months for you, then it's a dream.
Mhm.
And that is the most delusional thing I've heard the man say. And it's like, so forget all the stuff he said about women and all that crap. People take that as misogyny, whatever. But this man literally said, if it takes longer than 3 months for you, it's a dream. And stuff like that, that's poisoning the youth. And along with TikTok, it's poisoning the youth's brain on long-term delaying gratification, because eventually, if that starts becoming the narrative, you're going to see a lot of people crash out. You're going to see a lot of people doing stupid shit that they shouldn't be doing, that they need more experience, they need more mentorship, they need more life experience, they need more guidance. I agree with what you said about 30 to 35, 33 to 35 years old. That is a great age range to start a business and get into all of that, because
Oh,
you lived through
definitely.
your 20s, you've seen people fail, you've seen
Mhm.
businesses fail. And when people talk about TikTok, I see it all the time on TikTok, and that stuff is just like, it's just horse shit. If you want me to be
Yeah,
honest.
it's just to sell you a course. It's always, you need to get wealthy quick. Buy my course, I'll get you there. Like, I see the real world toted a lot and things like that. And then I just gotta tell you, it's most likely not going to happen for 99% of you. And it would be a rare case in the 1% of them that they even strike it there. But then at the same time, you got to pay your taxes. You probably set everything up wrong, so it's now under personal income. You want to learn your lessons. You want to work in corporate America. I know it sounds like it sounds ridiculous to hear it for a lot of you guys, especially a lot of young guys, because you're coming in at 18, like, I gotta escape the matrix. It's like, what? Go work for someone. Sit down, go work, learn how the world actually works, learn how things work at a ridiculously slow pace too. And you have to understand that you're not going to be able to change the world in 3 months. Even, like, let's just take Zuckerberg for instance. Facebook didn't change the world in 3 months. It took a decade for Facebook to really change the world, and by then it created the wealth that Zuckerberg had. And that was when he was 28, and he started that when he was like 17, 18, right when he started college. And before that, he was also doing a lot of learning, a lot of, like, the things that you learn between 20 and 35. A lot of those young successful entrepreneurs that actually made it did a lot of that work when they're like 10 to 25. So that's why they got the wealth so early. That's okay. Not all of us are going to get that. And not all of us are going to get to like $50 billion. That is astronomical. Getting to $1 billion is ridiculously hard. But in the time period that you're working at other businesses, if you're working for a multi-billion-dollar company that's a Fortune 500 company, you're going to learn a lot about interviewing, management, P&L, learning P&L sheets, also learning how decisions affect your P&L sheets, how you can change the direction of your P&L sheets. You're learning from people who are have been there for 30, 40 years and can teach you life experiences and things like that. And that's how you grow. That's how you build. That's how you develop. That's how you get to where you want to be. But that takes time. You're not going to see all the the mistakes that they made by just saying, I listened to you for a day so I can go out here and I'll make this million real quick. No, that's not how it's going to work. And on top of that, even if you make a million real quick, fast money comes slow problems, and those slow problems can linger for the rest of your life. So, it's like I recommend for everyone's sanity, especially a lot of these Fortune 500 companies give you good 401k matches. They give great salaries. If you manage your finances well through that period, you will have enough money that you could start your business. Or at this, if you don't even want to start your business and you realize, hey, running a business is not for me because all of a sudden you are every hat in that business instead of just one department. You can't just say, well, that's not my job. It's like it's got to be your job when you run a business. And then you might say, hey, that's not for me. Let me take my earnings, get into real estate, get like 10 or 12 rental properties. I don't have to be fabulously rich, but now I can afford to say when my employer is saying, hey, things are getting crazy, the work environment's starting to suck, you could say, hey, it's been fun. I had my opportunity. Thanks for the journey. I'm going to go on to other opportunities. And you have the safety net, the finances, and everything. Like, don't listen to these guys, especially like Grant Cardone, telling you don't have a safety net, don't save your money. That is going to lead you to have to work and be a people greeter at Walmart for the rest of your goddamn life. Like, don't do that. Save your money because, yes, they always come out with the cliche, oh, you're not guaranteed tomorrow. Yeah, but I could also wake up tomorrow and break a leg. How am I going to pay for that? Because I'm still alive. What am I going to off myself because I broke my leg? Life's over. No, you get up and don't listen to all these people that say, "Oh, if you're in your 40s or 50s, life is over." It is not fucking over. It is not over by a long shot. We wouldn't have KFC if that guy had that mentality. He was divorced, forced into retirement at 68, and trying to start a dream with $28 in his pocket in, I think it was like late 1940s, and he came up with KFC, and now KFC is this multi-international, multi-billion-dollar company, all from a guy who's 68 that decided to start selling chicken door to door. The thing is like you you never give up on what you're dreaming for, but you damn sure got to work for it. Like, that's the one thing. Like, even if you are 40 plus, it's not over. It isn't over until it's over. That is how my mentality works. It's never over until it's over. I don't understand why all these people saying, like, if you are not rich by this this certain age, it's over, give up. No, that is the dumbest mentality I've ever had, because you got to keep going. If Richard Branson had that mentality, we wouldn't have Virgin Mobile. He failed 11 times. One of them was like a $200 million bankruptcy. He still kept going. It isn't over until it's over. It isn't over until I get to my goal. That is how I see it. There's always going to be setbacks. There's always going to be trial. There's always going to be tribulations. There's always going to be hardships and obstacles and mountains to overcome. If you're sitting there saying, like, well, I got him up to my first mountain, I guess it's over. I gotta quit. I'm done. Like, you're always then that's a loser mentality. When I see that, hey, there's an obstacle, I'm gonna bang right through it. If I see another obstacle, I'm gonna keep going. If I gotta jump this hurdle, I gotta jump it. If I gotta climb this mountain, I gotta climb it. If I gotta blow up the mountain to get through it, I'll do what I gotta do to get to the get to the goal, get to the finish line. There's no reason, absolutely no reason I should sit here and say, "Oh, well, I guess I had trouble. I guess I should give up." You know how many times I've had no money in my freaking payroll account, and payroll was coming up in 2 days. And I said, I better bust my ass and figure out a way to get this going so I can have people get them paid. Going, that happened 18 times. Shoot, there were 18 times that I had no money for rent, bills, the electricity, anything. My own finances are done. Everything. So I'm at negative zero. I'm negative at this point, and I still kept pushing. My saying always stands true. If you're going to run a business, if you're going to follow the path I'm going to, you better be as relentless as the morning sun, because there's going to be a lot of darkness. And every time you start to shine bright, darkness comes in. But you got to be relentless, because eventually the sunrise will come. Eventually the sun will rise, and you have to be relentless as the morning sun. I just don't understand because and part of that rant comes from I get tons of messages from Facebook, from people, from friends of friends messaging me about get escaping, making money, getting out of here, trying to. It's like, dude, like that's not how it's going to work. And if you're already thinking that, instead of saying I see an opportunity and I got to strike and I got to work hard to make it a reality, that's a good method to think when you're 19. But if you're telling me that you're trying to escape the matrix and make money, you haven't even spent any time in the matrix. You didn't even work in a cubicle yet. God damn. That's just absolutely ridiculous. Like I just don't understand that mentality. But shout out to Crypto Dream. A lot are looking for that 4 hour work week. That's the truth. I got quite a few people that work for me right now that work 1 or 2 days, and then the paychecks come, and now I pay weekly. They come, they get the check, and they're like, "Man, this isn't enough." It's like, well, you got to work more days. I'm not going to pay you $1,000 to work 2 days. You got to work 5 days if you want to get the full freaking pay. And of course, it's on Monday, so I got like 8 or 9 more child support letters to mail back out, to acknowledging and sending them money for taking out of their damn checks. It's ridiculous. I have now 45 guys that have to pay child support, and quite a few of them have a ton taken out. My goodness. Well, I think that's about the end of my rant for that. So I think Cody kind of stepped away there a little bit. But yeah, I have nothing really else to talk about. I got to actually get going in a little bit. Cuz going back to our original conversation about Solana, it's like you don't you're going to miss opportunities. I mean, no one really saw that it was going to spike this much. Like I think I bought in at 40 and then again at 60. Hey Cody. Shout out to Crypto Dream. Glad you thought it was encouraging. I hope people look back at it because there's nothing wrong with being working a 9 to 5, paying off your debts, saving money, especially if you got a family and kids, because you need to make sure that you have you have certain things covered because kids like to be kids and they kind of do kid stuff and cause financial things like you got to have
I,
money. We got to have money set aside for that.
Hello, can you hear me?
Oh yeah, I can hear you, Cody.
Oh yeah, my dad called me while I was listening to you. When you were talking about like it's not over till it's over, and how people think that when you're 50 and 60, it's over. That's not true. I was just listening to all of that, and man, you got passionate, and I like that because a lot of people are just sold a lie. Like even nowadays, they try to sell the youth a lie. People lie, the devil lies, but numbers don't lie. And then what do the numbers say? The numbers say that if you just if you just keep being smart with your money and you keep going, it's inevitable. That's all you really have to do. These gurus and these people who sell courses, it's a psychology thing. They want you to make you feel like you're running out of time. They want you to feel like you have to rush. And when you do that, you make impulsive, emotional. Your brain is in a survival brain. You're not in a logical brain. There's two different brain archetypes. There's the survival brain and there's the logical brain. The survival brain is impulsive, is very emotional, and the logical brain is reasonable. And a person with a logical brain can step back and say, hey, this is what it is. I see past it. Survival brain's like, oh no, like, oh, well, what if I am running out of time? Like I'm 35 years old. I'm out of time. It's like, no, you're not.
Yeah, exactly. And those guys are playing off of FOMO, your fear of missing out. And They're really playing off of, if you don't do this now, you are never going to be wealthy. That is the dumbest thing that you could ever do. It's like my the guy I was an errand boy for, at who owned one of the largest answering services in America. His life went on pause for 2 wars, and then after the Korean War, I think it was the Korean War, World War II. Even after he fought, he went around and had to deliver all the deceased bodies of all the soldiers to their families, and make sure that we sent the right person to the right family and all that stuff. It's like, could you imagine you're going through your fighting, and it's like, don't give up. It's like to him, he's in foxholes, he's in fights for his life. He was in the Battle of Bastogne in World War II. Like, the guy has seen. I mean, rest his soul now. He's been deceased for about, I think, 6-7 years now. It's been a while. I think he passed away in like 2017. And could you imagine telling him, just don't give up, just give up. It's too hard. Like, he didn't have a choice. You have to keep going. It isn't over until it's over. Even when he was watching his comrades suffer and perish in the foxholes, in these horrible battles, he not say, "Oh my God, it's over. I can't go on further." No, they had to do the things that they had to do to get to where they had to be. And that was it. That was the only thing. And that's what made him become a very, very wealthy person in his lifetime. And you know what? He didn't even make a lot of his wealth until he was in his 60s, he said. He told me one time. His best profitable years, where he earned the most amount of money, was when he was 60. And that's when his construction company was doing well, his rental properties were doing well, he started his answering services and they were doing well. That was like 80s and 90s. Like, he was making money hand over fist. And then when I came along in about 1997, I was working as an errand boy at 16, 17, 18, and 19. He was it was his business was kind of changing as cell phones were coming out, but he was still on top of his game. Like, he was the biggest landlord in the county in New Jersey. He had a substantial amount of properties. His daughter was worth more than he was, because he had set her up for real success in life. So, and to tell him, like, he's going to tell you, it's like, I didn't make any money until I got into my oldest years, and he failed. I mean, he lost several businesses during the oil crisis, 83 crash. Um, had to close one business to go fight in the Korean War, then came back, then had to close another business because he had to get called back for Vietnam War and everything. So, and what are you gonna if he is the personification of, don't give up, no matter what. Just keep on going, keep on pushing, keep on striving, keep on pursuing where you want to go. There's just no other way to say
I
it.
could
Like,
have
you can't stop. No, go ahead, Cody. I'm sorry.
I could have given up after I got fired at my job. I could have I could have given up when I got fired at Walmart. I could have said, you know what? Screw working a 9 to 5. I'm gonna become one of those TikTok day traders like some people try to do. But no, I found another job that not only pays more but has better benefits for the employee. So overall, I came out ahead. It's just like 2022 during the bear market when FTX collapsed and Bitcoin went to 16,000. I could have said, "Yep, I might as well sell it at a loss because it's just going to keep dropping.
Yep.
Crypto's never going to come back." I saw article after article, people saying Polkadot's dead, Solana's dead. There was a point where people even thought Solana's dead. And look at Solana right now. Look at the current active users. Look at Polkadot. Look at the active users and the active developers and the Nakamoto efficiency score.
Yep.
Look at these things that people think are dead, but they keep coming back. Why do they keep coming back? Because they have the survive through adversity mindset. All of
Exactly.
them do. Only the weak keep dropping. Only things that don't have real value keep dropping. People talk about Bitcoin doesn't have value. How? Oh, Bitcoin, like how? It has came back. It has been pronounced dead 400 something times. People have lost count. It's like if it doesn't have value, why do the people keep clinging on to it? It doesn't make sense. When people make these claims, when people make these give up type of claims, it doesn't make sense to me. It's just rambling.
Yep. Exactly. Exactly. That's the thing. Like, if anyone could just be careful with who's out there and who you're listening to as well. Even take it with a grain of salt what we're telling you. But I could tell you from personal experience that running a business, it sucks. And even still, with all the money that I have, it's how am I going to have one? It's going to be impossible for me to have a fleet of like exotic cars because that's the first thing these guys say. Well, where's your cars? And so where's all this stuff? It's like, look, I bought the ones I like. I've ordered them. They'll get here when they get here, and like I don't see having more than 3 cars at the most. And I have a daily driver, which is just going to be a pickup truck, and I'll have my my like the style sedan, and then like a sports car, and that's it. And if I get a house down in Dallas or Miami, I'll have 1 car there. Like there won't be like a fleet of cars. Like that makes absolutely no sense. It's a waste of money because already cars are depreciative assets. But on top of that, like you go get an Austin Martin and you drive that sucker off the lot, it went from 300,000 to 180 like within an instant. So it's like if you're gonna waste that type of money, you need
That
to have like the money to waste, and a couple $1,000,000 is not the type of money to waste. In order for me to have a fleet that some of these guys have, you'd have to have over $1 billion.
yeah.
Like there's no way that you're going to be able to afford to insure a Bugatti, a Lamborghini, like 3 or 4 Lamborghinis, a couple Ferraris, a couple Porsches, a couple other like several Rolls Royces, several Bentleys.
Look at rapper Lil Uzi Vert.
Yep.
Like he's not anywhere close to a billionaire. He might be a multimillionaire, but Lil Uzi Vert, he has an Audi R8, he has a Bugatti, he has a
Mhm.
Hellcat, he has a Rolls, he has so many cars, and I know damn well with the millions he has. I know damn well when that insurance and all that shit kicks in and all that gas. I know he a little bit. He's kind of like because it's like you have to have that type of fleet and not even bat an eye. You have to be in the 100 million to a billion range.
Oh,
You just
absolutely.
have to.
Absolutely. And I have to like a lot of people don't understand is like the maintenance on those cars is absolutely expensive. Like a Ferrari, you got to pay to ship it back to the dealership, get it serviced, pay to ship it from the dealership back to you. Your average service could be somewhere between $10,000 and $15,000. New tires, throw on another 10, things like that. You got to replace battery and things like Ferraris. You need to drive those with every 3 days minimum. Otherwise, they start having problems. Like their machines, they have to be used. The oil has to be circulated in the engine. Things like that. Like you can't they just can't sit there idle. Like a Bugatti, you have to service it, then you can drive it, and then you have to service it again after you drive it. Like that's how very meticulous these things are, and that's expensive. I think the average service on a Bugatti is like 25 grand. So it's like if you have
Each time, not a year. Each
so let's
time.
just say average service per vehicles is 18,000. This is each time. Like you can't just like service it once a year. This is like before you drive it, service it. Then after you drive it, you got to service it again. And you have 27 vehicles. So if you wanted to drive one each month, you're talking about spending $500,000. Like that's just a lot of money to waste away that to waste on this type of stuff. And even if I became a billionaire, I don't think I would even buy like a boat. Like everyone's like, "Well, I'm getting a yacht." Like, no, I'm going to get. I have my house. I bought my parents their dream house. I'm going to buy a house in Dallas because I need a place to go to for that when I have to work down in Dallas. And I'm just going to buy a nice vacation home in Miami. That's it. Not even Miami, probably like Fort Lauderdale, up a little bit because I'm not really about that Miami lifestyle. Even when I get back
Yeah,
into shape, I'm not about that lifestyle.
yeah, and it's like the car I really want is a Porsche 911. I don't even have to have a Bugatti one day, but like a base model Porsche 911 is like 100 grand. It's not anything
Hmm.
crazy.
Yeah, and like you can get like a base 911. Isn't that much more than like getting like a 300 C class coupe. I think you can get a base 911 for about 110,000, which is about the same as getting the S class coupe, like their base model. So it's like it's
Now, if you want the GT
well, yeah,
300,
that's
that
like
Porsche,
400,000,
yeah, that's big boy
and
money. But
that
you
always has
know,
a waiting list too. So you're gonna have to be a big Porsche spender for them to even want to give you an allocation. Because I think they make only like 1,000 of those per year, something like that, or per production. So you're getting
yeah, they do. I'm a big Porsche fan myself. I love Porsche. I love the elegant design. I love the history of Porsche. That's why I'm going after one of those cars one day because it's more than just the car itself. The Porsche brand, I actually like the Porsche brand. I would say that in my opinion, it's just my personal taste. I like the Porsche brand more than the Ferrari brand. That's just my opinion.
I have to say I've never liked Porsche until the newest version of the 911. I think that's a very clean look, but I've never even really liked Ferrari or
It
Lamborghini
is.
until like not really a Lamborghini fan. I only like the Huracan, but I also had a bad experience when I had an exotic rental company in Florida in 2012 with that Aventador because like as soon as I got it. It went out for rent, and within I say about a week, it had the gearbox issue, and and then after
Oh yeah.
that, I got it fixed up. Like people just kept banging up that car, and it was just it was getting to the point of it was getting to the
I
point
think the
like it was just not
911.
worth it.
I think the 911 has like one or two gearboxes. Very limited on gearboxes, but yeah, I like the 911. A lot of people would assume that because it's a nice car that it would be crazy on maintenance. The 911 actually isn't that bad on maintenance. Like, yeah, you still need to spend some money. It's not cheap, but when you compare a 911 to like a Ferrari
Mhm.
or something like that, it's not
It's
crazy
not
on maintenance at all.
and it's not flashy, but you guys, if you guys are and you're investing and you're doing everything right and you want to treat yourself to one of your dream cars, I would definitely say the 911 is probably the most reliable, best on of keeping it maintenance, and it doesn't really had any issues. When I had a 911 for my rental company for a little bit back in the day, this is back in the day, it never really had any issues. It got driven a lot. It got driven hard by people. People rent those cars. They open it up on the highway. They're over torquing. They're kind of over torquing the gas on the gears and stuff, fiddling around with the manual settings, and so and it handled pretty well. I think it only had like minor misalignments after all those things. Like I think the like after I did the main service, which was like $8,000 for the year, and getting all the new tires and everything. The next one, like it's like $500 to do the realignment, like the racing realignment and stuff, because people would open those up, and it was a sturdy little car. I remember someone hit another person in that rental car. They were going about 70, and all that happened was just the front passenger side wheel fender just popped, like crumpled and popped off, and all I really had to do was buy a new one and pop it back on. So they're pretty sturdy, because if that was like a Lamborghini or Ferrari, it would have just compressed into nothing.
Oh yeah, I just got a notification saying that because I get notifications when large buys on crypto happen. Somebody just put in $60,000 in Chainlink. It's pretty cool.
Oh yeah, that's definitely is pretty cool. What's Chainlink at right now? Let me pull that up. I think it was at 14.
About 14 something.
We have 14.22. Still a good buy. Still a good buy. If you think about it, it's been sitting there in that $7 to $6 range for, my God, a year and a half. A year and a half with that. It's crazy. Then, like I said, if you've been dollar cost averaging over the last 2 years, you would have made some bank. And we're not even in, like, what the all-time high was 48, like almost $49.
I don't know what's going on. I'm sorry.
No worries. Yeah, it's like that's crazy how you definitely made a good play on Chainlink, and even now getting in at $14 is still worth it. It's still worth it in my opinion. I might, after this stream, before I head out, buy some more Chainlink. I think that would max my spending for the day. Which also I want to say, guys, before we leave, make sure that you guys do all those surveys and update documents on all the crypto exchanges like crypto.com, Coinbase, Uphold, everything, because you don't want to get your accounts locked out. You want to make sure that you are able to do the trades and that everything is accurate, because that also is for tax information as well. And for those of you guys that have been watching from the beginning, if you are curious about my stock portfolio, I'll have a better update towards this weekend for you guys. But I have not been buying any stocks lately other than Porch Moving Group. And I haven't even been buying Porch Moving Group lately because I'm up almost 3 times my money on it. So, but I'll have more deep dive on that. Definitely thank you guys for staying with us. Cody, do you have any final thoughts? Because I have to leave right now to get to my appointment. Are you there, Cody? Well, I will say this. Do appreciate you guys coming in. Shout out to Crypto Dream, one of our longtime supporters. Hopefully, we get that our TikTok channel back up. It's Simply Investing 60. That is where I am at right now, and doing the same old posting till we get back up to 1,000 followers and we can go live. Also, follow us, give us a subscribe on YouTube, give us a follow on Twitter and Facebook. Thank you guys for all your support. I definitely got to really head out of here, but really appreciate all your guys' support. Really appreciate you joining in on the lives. If you want to watch all the replays, definitely watch the replays on YouTube and also on Rumble. We got all our lives there. I think over 300 hours of lives and also videos. And also check out our Patreon. Link is in the description. Definitely give us a sign up there. It's free to sign up for the email and get the weekly newsletter. Really appreciate you guys. I will see you guys tomorrow morning. Thank you so much. And definitely, guys, stay safe out there. Trade smart and don't moonshot your life savings. Don't ever do that. Invest wisely and with confidence, and make sure you do your research. Thank you guys, and I'm headed out.